Should you have knee surgery? This is your knee joint here. Why might someone go for knee surgery? Well, if you're in absolute agonizing pain, you've got the, absolutely advanced osteoarthritis, there may be no other option for you. But I'm currently doing a real world study with Regen Med, it's called Circles. And what we're doing is looking at what happens when somebody has shockwave therapy and extracorporeal magnetotransduction therapy, or EMTT, over the course of 6 weeks. What happens to their knee pain, and how does that improve it for them? We've also got a group of people that are having this stuff, which you've heard me talk about before, Arthrosamid, which is a non-degrading hydrogel that sits in the knee forever, creates a barrier to that advancing osteoarthritis and pretty much stops it in its tracks. And the people I'm most excited about are those ones that are having Arthrosamid and 6 weeks of shockwave therapy and EMTT. And anecdotally, we seem to be seeing the best results, but we're going to wait and see how that study pans out. But the key factor is what we're not saying is that knee surgery is bad in terms of total knee replacement. We're talking for arthritis. We're saying that that is the sort of end game if you absolutely have to do that. And when people do that, they talk about having a new knee. Well, yes, in theory, it's out of a box and it's new to you, but it's never as good as the knee that you were born with. But it is really good resolution if you're in agony, you just can't walk, and actually that knee joint has reached the end of its life. However, by intervening early, so before the knee gets that bad, and actually doing things like shockwave and EMTT with Arthrosamid, here's the benefit. We slow the progress of that osteoarthritis. So early intervention is key. So you may not be at the stage where you're thinking, oh, that painful knee every now and then is something I need to deal with, but actually it really is. Get in early, preventative medicine always wins. So what we're looking at is the gel going into the knee, the Arthrosamid, actually creates that ballast, that gel scaffold in the knee, which gives you a bit of shock absorbency. It aligns itself with the capsule and stops that harmful inflammation from being able to get in. The shockwave and EMTT work very differently. They work on the actual bone cells themselves that create that bone tissue within the knee joint around these two margin lines here. And they help to develop a nice level of cartilage improvement and also that bone improvement. So it's shown to be chondroprotective. So they work quite differently. Each one is good in its own right, but when you put the two together, it's greater than the sum of its parts, insofar as I believe. Zero science to prove that yet, but that's what we're working on to bring to you. So there are options, particularly for the young knee, but this can still work when you're much older. But my desire, and the reason I started this company, Kneevolution, is that there is a way to evolve the knee right now, your knee right now, and make it a better environment to slow the process of that aging of osteoarthritis, delay or totally prevent knee surgery from happening. So if you catch it early, that's where the greatest benefit is. So if you want to come and have an assessment with me, that's fine. If you want to learn more about shockwave and EMTT, you just want to learn more about Arthrosamid, then get in touch. For those of you watching in the USA, Arthrosamid isn't there yet, it is in Canada, but people would have to think about coming over to Europe to get that done. For those of you that live in the Northeast, this is a simple question. We're just around the corner in Hexham, and we have people travelling from Brighton, from Essex and London and north end of Scotland, Aberdeen, to come and have these consultations, because we can literally change people's lives. So have a think about it, do a bit of research, and reach out with any questions if you've got them, because I would be more than happy to answer them. Real goal here is to educate people on what this stuff is, the fact that it's out there, and literally how good it is with 80+% success rates. So I look forward to hearing from you soon.